The European Union just approved one of its toughest migration measures yet. A new EU migration agreement has just been approved, and supporters are calling it a necessary fix to Europe's migration system, while critics say it could become one of the toughest immigration enforcement measures the EU has ever introduced. Under the new EU return regulation, people who have received a final decision of their asylum claim or are found to be staying illegally in the European Union could face stricter or faster return procedures. Here's what will change. A return order issued by one EU country will be easier to enforce across the entire EU. Authorities will have stronger powers to relocate or remove people who have deportation orders or move between member states to avoid them. In some cases, detention periods before removal could be extended. The agreement opens a door for the creation of return hubs outside the EU, where some migrants could be transferred while awaiting return to their country of origin. Member states will also have a greater cooperation and information sharing to prevent people from disappearing into other EU countries after receiving a return order. Now, who is affected? The rules mainly target failed asylum seekers whose cases are finally rejected and individuals staying in the EU without legal permission. The rules do not apply to those who have been granted refugee status or another form of legal protection. Why is this making headlines? Supporters argue that Europe's migration system has lacked credibility because many people ordered to leave the EU never actually do so. They said these new measures will help restore control over migration and reduce pressure on national asylum system. Critics, however, warn that longer detention periods and the use of return hubs outside EU would raise serious human rights concerns and shift responsibility away from European countries. Here's the bigger picture. This isn't just another migration reform. It signals a shift in how Europe approaches illegal immigration. For years, the focus was largely on processing asylum claims. Now, the focus is increasingly on enforcing return decisions and ensuring that people who are not granted protection leave the EU. Whether this becomes a turning point that restores confidence in Europe's migration system or a policy that creates new legal and humanitarian controversies remains to be seen. What do you think? Is the EU finally taking control of migration, or does this new law go too far? Share your thoughts below.